Bonjour, bon après-midi, tout le monde. Our government has always made it a commitment to keeping our streets and communities safe and to make sure that victims of crime in our communities are safe and that Canadians feel safe in their communities. Guy Turcotte was found criminally not responsible for stabbing his children 46 times. He was released yesterday. We believe that Isabelle Gaston does not deserve to live in fear of her children's killer, and neither do other victims of similar crimes across Canada. That's why our government will be introducing legislation to address Canadians' concerns about high-risk offenders and those who have been found not criminally responsible on account of mental disorder who may pose a threat to public safety if they are released. Our government continues to believe that victims and public safety must always come first. The planned legislation will ensure that public safety is paramount in determining how persons found not criminally responsible should be addressed by mental health review boards and courts. We are committed to ensuring that our laws are strong and are clear enough to protect Canadians in situations where accused are found not criminally responsible and pose a risk to the public. Our government is strongly committed to protecting the safety of Canadians and ensuring that victims have a greater voice in our justice system. Isabelle Gaston deserves better than this. The system has failed her.
Can you just be more specific about what this is going to mean? Mandatory
Yes.
minimums? I mean, I know you're saying we need to take into account victims and that sort of thing, but concretely, what is this going to look like?
What it's going to look like is that victims will now be at the center of the justice system when someone is deemed not criminally responsible. I mean, these are often extraordinary circumstances, and so when when a crime has taken place, but an individual is deemed not criminally responsible because of their mental capacities, then victims are often not involved in the process when determining when such a person goes from a hospital environment and has the opportunity to have to be released back into the public. And currently, victims are not considered in the process. They're not consulted on the danger to society. They're not consulted for impact statements. They're not consulted on when somebody is released, whether or not they feel safe in the community, and they're not consulted on what kind of safety measures are put in place for those families so that they can feel safe in their community when somebody might be released on a day pass or have access to the community. Frankly, the victim is forgotten, and we want to fix that. And not only have the victim involved in the process, but to have them at the front of the process. What's happening right now with the Turcotte case is unacceptable. What has happened in British Columbia with the Alan Schoenborn case is unacceptable. Victims are being forgotten by our justice system, and it should not be the case. And our legislation will correct that by putting the victims first.
Talking about keeping these people incarcerated in a mental institution. I mean, are we also looking at extending that period of time before they're allowed out? I know you say consult victims at this, but I mean concretely, is this going to mean that people are going to stay behind bars when longer?
Currently, the process in British Columbia, for example, in the Alan Schoenborn case, which is similar to this one, the review is every year. Victims have asked for that period to be extended longer, and that's something that we will be addressing in our legislation.